Get on the hot seat with Wally George. Hang on for the wildest, most controversial talk show on television, featuring enthusiastic participation from our live studio audience and interviews with provocative newsmaker guests. And now, here he is, that hard-hitting, award-winning, conservative voice of television, Wally George!
Thank you very much. All right. Hey, thank you very much, and welcome all across America. This is the program that's helping Ronald Reagan and George Bush make America greater. And this is the program, week after week, that is giving Dukakis a migraine. I have news for you. After the election, he's going to have more than a migraine, right? Okay. So welcome all across the United States of America. This is the one, the only conservative voice on commercial television and the one and only voice of controversy. Beware of imitators, right? Okay. Now, on the show tonight, I'm taking on two of my worst enemies, my worst antagonists, on the same show. Call all your friends and have them tune on the show tonight. Because believe it or not, on the program tonight, my first major antagonist, my major enemy, on the program, we're going to be taking on that raunchy rodent, Rick Dees. Oh, come on. He's a major sicko. And if that isn't bad enough, we're going to do a special segment with my imitator, Morton Downey Jr. One of my viewers wrote to me and said, that's not his name. His real name is Moron Downey Jr. That's right. Okay. And if that isn't bad enough, later on in the show, we have some female bimbos coming down here. And they're into a brand new sport, and they say it's the new all-American sport. It's called spaghetti wrestling. Oh. Now, they say that the new in thing is for girls to wrestle in spaghetti. Oh. And they're going to try to prove to me tonight that spaghetti wrestling is the all-American sport. Do you believe that? No. Okay. Now, before we get into our show, we have a commentary and then a special questions from my great audience. And by the way, we have a vast audience tonight. We have broken all records tonight, David. Mm-hmm. We now have, wait a minute, checking all the balconies. Yeah, we have 65,000 people here. We had to add a fourth balcony. Can you believe that? Great. Okay. All right. All right.
That's just the fourth balcony.
Fourth balcony. All right. Now, before we get into my opening commentary, it's time to introduce our family here. And first of all, in the booth, my great director, the amazing and talented Kevin Little. Let's hear it for Kevin. And my very talented producer and my beautiful wife, Janice George. There she is. And, of course, my good friend, the one, the only, David Kennedy. Okay, David. And, of course, on the floor, why do I do this? On the floor, he's getting more famous every day. Mike Goulding! Mikey!
You
I
forget.
almost forget my...
You forget.
How you doing tonight, Dave? Anything
Oh, I'm
important?
doing great, yeah. Yeah, you know, what better way to start the program? Do you know that you've won another award?
Another award!
Let me read you.
Okay.
Let me just read you a little bit of this one. This
You
is
need
from
your glasses for this, David?
No, no.
Okay.
This is from
You're
the
sure,
Southern
Davey?
California
You're sure you need
Motion
your glasses?
Pictures Council. You let me read it, and then you see if I
Okay,
need
go ahead.
it.
The
Southern California Motion Pictures Council Golden Eagle Award.
Golden Eagle
to
Award.
Wally George. Wait a minute. Award of Special Merit for the best in TV and radio.
Hey! How about that? You did that.
There you go.
Thank you very much. That's very, very nice. Thank you. We appreciate that. We'll hang
Put it
it
on the bumper of your car.
Hang it on the wall.
Yeah.
Hang it on the wall. Okay. Now, everybody, hold it down in the audience, please. Everybody at home, turn your volume up. It's time for my commentary of the night. Okay? It's very important.
Are you ready?
Who said turn it off? I heard that. I have my eye on you, pervert. Watch it over there. Hold it down in the audience now. Okay. Hold it. Okay. It's time for the commentary. Hold it. Well, Governor Mario Cuomo was in Los Angeles last week, and he's trying to breathe some life into the stumbling Dukakis campaign. Yeah. He's heatedly attacking Vice President George Bush. Now, this Cuomo is a real New York loudmouth. Now, he took some very, very rotten shots at the vice president. During a breakfast meeting with reporters, Mario ridiculed George Bush, mimicked him, and questioned his values. He scoffed at the vice president by stating, quote, Mario Cuomo. He says, Bush is saying values is a flag. He's saying values is the death penalty. Values is abortion. Cuomo went on to say, Bush talks of mainstream values. He's pandering to the people. Well, I beg to differ, Mr. Cuomo. He's not pandering. What the vice president is talking about are mainstream values. They are important values. You and Dukakis may not think that the Pledge of Allegiance to the American flag is an important value, but I do, and so do the majority of Americans. Yeah. You and Dukakis may not think the death penalty for convicted first-degree murderers is important, but the majority of Americans do. You and Dukakis may not think abortion is important, but the majority of Americans do. They care about the killing of innocent unborn children. So let me tell you something, Governor Cuomo. Let me tell you, why don't you go back to New York and zipper those lips? Don't try to tell us about values. You and your pal Dukakis are out of step with mainstream America. I'll be right back. I have people ask me all the time, Wally, do you really drive a Galpin Ford? Of course I do. And why? Because I know you'll get the best possible deal at Galpin Ford in Sepulveda. Hey, I've been driving a Galpin Ford for years. Get on down there, tell Bert Bachman I sent you. Galpin Ford in Sepulveda, 15505 Roscoe Boulevard in the sunny city of Sepulveda. Galpin is #1, and there's a reason. Hey, they are the best. Thank you.
How does the Players Club card work? Like magic. In Las Vegas, Atlantic City, the Caribbean, Reno, Lake Tahoe, even on cruise ships. Just show your Players Club card and save on rooms. Show the card and save on shows. Save in coffee shops, delis, or gourmet restaurants.
We had a really great dinner. I showed them my Players Club card. They took $23 off my bill.
We went to the VIP window. The tickets were half off, and we went right in. We treat Players Club members as valued guests. We give them special VIP privileges that are not available to the general public.
We've used the card at Harris, Sands, and resorts, and we've always had VIP treatment.
Players Club. Books, car rentals, hotel rooms, even airfares. All at tremendous discounts. And how about 2 free room nights in Las Vegas or Atlantic City when you use our Super Saver airfare? For the most exciting times of your life, call Players Club now.
Tired of getting pushed around.
Then watch. Request video. Monday through Saturday.
5 to 6 p.m.
The intro goes something like this.
Remember, that's Monday through Saturday, 5 to 6 p.m. only on KDOC.
TV 56.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much. Okay, yeah. Thank you. Thank you very much, and welcome back to Hot Seat, everybody. Okay, David, do you have anything to say on my opening commentary?
Well, I'll have to admit I never heard Mario's last name pronounced quite that way. Cuomo. Yeah. But I think Mario may be longing a little bit for the spotlight. You know, he probably could have been the candidate himself, and now the way it's going, he probably wishes he had.
He probably will be 4 years from now.
Maybe, yeah.
Okay. Right now it's time, if you're ready, for the mailbag.
Good old mailbag.
Listen to this stupid little jerk here. He writes to me, and his name is Chrissy. Oh. He says, Wally, your show is stupid and insane. Oh. Wait till you hear this. He says, your studio audience is made up of a bunch of hoodlums. Oh. Listen, you pimple-faced pervert. My studio audiences are made up of great Americans, and you are not worthy to sit in my audience.
Or even watch on television.
Yeah, here's another mental midget. Yeah, he can't even watch on television. Right.
Ban him.
Yeah. Here's one from a guy named Mike. No friend of yours, I hope. From Mike. He says, Dear Wally, listen to this guy. He says, don't you know when you drink out of your stupid cup, stupid cup, TriStar Security?
Yeah.
He says, when you drink out of your stupid cup, that it is not polite to drink on camera. Oh. He says, you idiot, I demand you apologize to us viewers. Are you? Hey, Mike. Take a good look, Mike. Hold on, Mike.
Okay. Drink right out of the bottle.
Here you go, Mike. Now, Mike, take a hike. Boy, here's a real loser. He says, Wally, this is really a sicko. He says, God does not belong in school or on our money, and you don't belong on the air. Oh. Obviously, you have a bad case of fried brains, you moron. But finally, here's a nice one from Nancy, Scott, Carolyn, Chris, Barbara, and Jenny. Oh, a whole bunch of them. No, they're not bimbos. They're... Dear Wally, we all watch your program every week, and we think you should be our next president.
Great. Good little club.
Yeah. Okay, let's go to the audience. Okay, let's get our first question from the audience. Come on up, and we'll see what's going on. Okay.
Hey, Wally, I'm Kelly Webb.
Yes, Kelly.
And I wonder what your opinion is on this alleged brutality of the Torrance Police Department.
Well, you know, we always hear about alleged brutality from police departments all over America. The liberals on the news media are always saying how brutal these cops are. We never see any pictures of the cops being attacked, as they often are. I say we should not condemn our police. They're doing a great job, and the liberals are doing a lousy job by hitting them over the head all the time on the air. Yes. We have good cops. Hey, you know what I want to tell all the liberals who are talking about our police departments? The next time you're in trouble, don't call the police. Call Jane Fonda. Huh? See how fast she comes running. Yes, go ahead.
My name is Carmen Laguna, and I want to ask you what you think of Peter Jennings setting up Vice President Bush on that question of what's so bad about being a ACLU card carrier for the caucus.
Yeah, you know, I'm glad you brought that up, because I was meaning to mention that. Peter Jennings was supposed to be a moderator, and he sounded like he was the head of the Dukakis campaign when he says to Vice President Bush on that last debate, he said, Mr. Vice President, why do you keep bringing over and over again about Dukakis as a card-carrying member? And Bush there said, that's none of your damn business, right? I mean, why should Jennings ask him a question like that? No, he was the attacker. Yeah. Okay, let's go to the next caller. Next question.
Hi, my name is Rochelle Garza.
Yes.
I'd like to know why Canada didn't check Ben Johnson for steroids before they put him in the Olympics.
Well, you know, we have now heard, of course, in the news that he has been taking steroid shots. We hear that from, that he took some before he came over to Korea. But I say enough is enough. We've had too many athletes, both professional and amateur, who have been into drugs. We had it with Steve Howe and the L.A. Dodgers. We've had it time and time again in pro and amateur athletes. And I say we want more drug tests on athletes. And I say if we find any athletes have been taking drugs or are taking drugs, we kick them out of sports for the rest of their lives.
Give him the death penalty, right, Wally?
No, yes, go ahead.
Wally, what do you think of the near riot during the Olympics following the Korean boxing match?
Well, you know, so much has gone on during the Olympics down there, and some horrifying things. And I just say it's just ridiculous. But I am very proud of how good our American athletes have done. Aren't you proud of that? USA! 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 USA, no matter where we are, we're always number one. I'll be right back.
Already over 2 million veterans have called to find out how this card can serve them exclusively. Hi, I'm Roger Staubach. If you're a veteran age 18 to 59, or the spouse or widow of a vet, write down this toll-free number, because one quick phone call can bring you all the facts about a plan that offers you a choice of 10, 20, up to $50,000 in term life benefits. $50,000 for under $10 a month. And since your spouse is also eligible, your total family protection can reach up to $100,000. All this at affordable veterans rates. In fact, you don't even have to take a medical exam. You'll also receive your own Veterans Life card embossed with your name. It's all absolutely free with no obligation. As a veteran, you owe it to yourself to get the facts about this exclusive offer. So call now.
Call 1-800-423-5600. Call now.
6 nights a week at 8:30 on TV 56, it's the Bob Newhart Show.
Hello?
Hi, Bob. We're glad you're here. Bob faces excitement.
No, I just wait here for the bell to go off.
Danger.
Well, open wider. What do you think I am, a snake?
Romance.
When do we start?
Catch the laughs with Bob and the gang on the Bob Newhart Show, Monday through Saturday nights at 8:30 on KDOZ TV 56.
What's going on in Costa Mesa at Earl Ike Toyota? A giant year-end clearance sale at prices too low to believe. A new Toyota truck giveaway with a contest in progress now. Complimentary memberships to a family fitness center near you by taking a test drive in an Earl Ike Toyota. and the arrival of the new 89 models, where Earl Ike Toyota, 1966 Harbor Boulevard in Costa Mesa, 3 miles south of the San Diego Freeway.
Welcome back to Hot Seat, and don't forget, every Monday through Friday, watch, if you can, here in Southern California. If you're watching us in Los Angeles and vicinity, Southern California, watch us every day, Monday through Friday from 4:30 to 5 for the Hot Seat Hotline. We're on every day here in Los Angeles. I do a commentary every day, and we take your phone calls on Channel 56 right here every day in Southern California, Monday through Friday, 4:30 to 5. Join me here. And now, David, who's up first on the Hot Seat?
All right, you've heard about him on the radio. You've read about him in the newspaper. Here he is to go head-to-head with you, Wally. America's #1 radio personality, Rick Dees.
Stop everything. How many of you people did he hire to come in here to do this? Well,
Wally, wait a minute. How many of you are here because you waited for 6 months to get a ticket? All right. Hey, how many of you don't even know who this man is? So what? Wait a minute. How many of you are wondering why in the hell he's here? Wait a minute. What?
wait a minute. Because I'm not making any money. Do you know that every person on this hot seat makes no money? What am I doing here? I'll tell you why I'm here. I'm going to tell you exactly why I'm here right now.
Oh, why are you here?
To expose you for the creep that you are.
Hold it, Rick. Hey, before we go any farther, I noticed that one of your guards came and planted some briefcase under your chair. What is that briefcase?
It's not a bomb. I'll tell you exactly what it is.
What is that?
I have the goods on Wally George. In the briefcase. In the briefcase.
They're in the briefcase.
And this show is so stupid, I wore the stupidest outfit I could find. This is stupid.
Let me say something. I have heard of implants, but you're the first person I've known in show business to have dimple implants.
Oh, come on! There's so much snow on this channel right now. It's the first time I've seen his hair. I didn't think he had it. I thought he had no head. I thought he had no head from here up.
Listen, I want to show you.
Let's get a shot of some of these sweatshirts. I like this.
Hold on. Listen, you're looking at a man. Now, get a good close-up of him if you can in the booth. Hey, look at that. Hold on. See that face now? Now, you should have seen the face that came in this studio 5.5 hours ago.
Wait a minute.
He spent 5.5 hours in makeup, and when he leaves here, they're going to have to chisel it off to make... I swear to God.
Wait a minute. Look who's talking. He's got pancake makeup on a waffle face. It's in here.
Stay away from that.
It's in here.
I think it's sick. Yeah. I think it's sick, Dees.
Why are you calling me names?
At least I come out and look like I do. If people saw how you look like with your makeup off, I mean, he looked older than George Burns without makeup.
Wait a minute. I'm not going to sit here and say this?
Now, I'll tell you what, Rick.
What is Biola University?
I'll tell you what it is. It's one of the greatest universities in the world. But let me make this statement. Hold on, Dees. Let me make this statement to you all and across America. I come here tonight not to bury Rick Dees, but to save him. Right?
Oh, no. Here we go.
What I think you're doing, Dees, you're going on the air every day on that raunchy radio show of yours.
Here we go again.
And you're doing that thing with that old pervert Willard unzipping his zipper. It's all dirty jokes, dirty innuendos, a terrible influence on the young people of America. But even though he is a terrible influence, I'm going to have him change his way. I'm going to save him. I'm going to turn him into a born-again Wally. I'll be right back.
Whenever I see a scene like this, I wonder, did they have a will? As a court reporter, I know if you die without a will, the courts take over and make important decisions for you. Who gets your money, your property? Who gives away your life savings? Who will be your children's guardian? With no will, the courts decide everything, and your estate pays. Plus, if the state can't find any heirs, they keep your property. Don't worry. The Nationwide Will Plan has developed wills that are legal in all states and can be completed by you in just minutes by following very easy instructions. Call now. Only Nationwide wills offer you these special features: forms for gifts, provisions for distribution of personal items, forms for children's trusts. Call this number now and also receive this handsome folder for your legal documents. Don't let a stranger make the most important decisions of your life. Call now.
It's gonna be one happy Christmas.
Time Life Music presents Country Christmas, a new collection of 50 holiday songs by the greatest country artists of all time.
Christmas in Dixie. Silent night.
Jingle bells, jingle bells.
Hard candy Christmas.
Let it snow, let it snow, let it snow.
Country Christmas from Time Life Music. 3 LPs or 2 double-length cassettes, only $19.99. Or 2 compact discs for $26.99. Order now.
Call toll-free 1-800-443-3113. Have your credit card ready. That's 1-800-443-3113. Or send $19.99 for 3 LPs or 2 double-length cassettes, or $26.99 for 2 CDs, plus $3 shipping to Country Christmas, P.O. Box TV 56, Anaheim, California, 92803.
Thank you. Welcome back.
Yeah.
Thank you. Hold it. Welcome back. And in case you just joined us and you see this strange-looking person on your screen, my guest is Raunchy Rick. Here he is.
Wait a minute. Let me just ask one thing. Why do you insist on jumping on my case all the time?
Wait. Hey, what do you mean?
I'm doing a radio show that goes all over the world.
Yes. Hold on, Dees. You think you're so smart? You know that our show very soon is going to be in Canada, Australia, and England?
I feel so sorry for you. Canada, Australia, and England.
That's right. And all over the country. But I'll tell you this, Dees. The reason I'm on your case is you're probably a semi-intelligent person. But the thing...
What is this?
The thing is, I listen to your show, and I'm trying to do what's good for America, and I think some of the things you do on your program are raunchy. Why must you get into this dirty double entendre and zippers and all that?
That's what people need. They want that type of stuff.
People need that.
They don't need that.
You know what I want you to do? What I want you to do, I can make you into a different person. I can change you into a new man.
This is the guy that has mud wrestlers on his show.
Oh, come on.
Mud wrestlers.
I'm exposing them on my show.
You expose them, all right.
That's right.
Mud wrestlers.
Geez, I want to give you a whole new image. I want you to get rid of that stupid clothes. I want you to start dressing like me in red, white, and blue ties. I want you to start playing patriotic music. And I want you to start talking about America and how great Ronald Reagan is, right? And instead of playing those records you play, I want to hear John Philip Sousa and John Wayne, right? Yeah!
What a cornball! You have probably exposed yourself as being the biggest geek of all time.
Hold on. Can you imagine that? He calls someone who speaks out for patriotism a geek.
Wait a
minute. See? You're sick, Rick, isn't he?
No. Bring some people up. I'll talk to these people. We'll see. We'll explain. Wait a minute. I have the goods on you. I knew.
What do you have in there?
I'm going to expose you for what you really are.
I know what I...
No, you come on with all this patriotism stuff. I'm going to expose you for what you really are.
What I'm saying this, Dick... What I'm saying to this, Rick, is I'm trying to save you...
Excuse me just a sec. Let me wind this poor guy up again. Okay? This poor guy never gets a chance.
No. Not between you two guys.
Now, wait a minute.
Why don't you do for radio what Wally does for television?
Let me tell you something. Hey, Rick, you take away... You listen to his show now. You take away his lovely wife, Julie Dees. You take...
Hey, don't bring my wife into this now.
No, I'm trying to tell you. You take away from his show, you take away Julie Dees, his wife. You take away Charlie Wright, the coach. And you take away his dirty jokes, and you take away his sound effects and his dirty records. And then what do you... And then what...
And then what do you have?
And take all that away, and what do you have left?
Wally George!
You have... Hey, what you have left is a poor man's Pee Wee Herman.
Wait a minute! I don't have to take that. Now, wait a minute. Just... Pee-wee. You know, he looks a lot like Pee Wee Herman. He does.
Okay, hold on.
All right, now you got people in the audience thinking I was fired and stuff like that.
All right, Rick, here's what I want you to do. Just do one thing for me. Would you do one thing for me, and you're going to feel a hell of a lot better. Will you do it for me?
I will be good.
Just hold on. Just repeat after me, and I know, trust me, Rick, you're going to feel great. Repeat after me. Say, hallelujah. Go ahead.
Hallelujah.
Hold. Hey, this is very important for Rick.
Hallelujah.
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 I've seen the light.
I've seen the light.
I am now
a
true Wallyite.
Yeah! Wait a minute. This guy is the world's first living brain donor right here. What is the deal?
Why don't we go to the audience and get some questions from the audience?
Yeah.
Yes.
Look at this. He put on dark glasses.
Yeah.
Well, I have to put these on because of your bright suit there.
This is stupid. I knew it was going to be stupid, but this is a stupid show. Wait a minute. Do you know he has so much hairspray on there was some wind outside the studio and both of his sideburns cracked? down. Would you get him down?
Okay, calm down, Wally.
Hold on. Yeah, what's your question?
Oh, my question, Mr. Sleaze, Mr. Dees. I've had this big problem. I can't figure out what it is you do.
All right, wait a minute. I'm not a big name yet. So I'm not a big name. Neither is he. Okay, so I'm not a big name
What is
yet.
it? Yeah? Even I can't figure out what it is that you do. What do you do?
I'm an entertainer. I do comedy.
Hey, hold on.
Comedy for a living.
I've been listening to your show, and you're about as entertaining as a test pattern.
Wait a minute. Okay, hold on. Wait a minute. Look at these guys.
One of these
Look at these guys. These two guys. Let me explain these guys. These guys came with me. We thought there's so much snow on this channel. It was snowing in here. Where's the snow? This station has such a weak signal, nobody can pick it up.
Yeah, I'm Tim from Pomona.
yeah,
First of all, I love your shirt.
Thank you so much.
I want to know what you feel about porno rock bands like Rated X and Mentors and...
Yeah, what about that porno rock like you play on your stupid show?
I only play the hot hits.
Oh, you're the
I
hot
only play
hit.
the hot hits.
Boy.
Porno rock. Are you in a porno rock band or?
Huh? Yeah.
Hey, you know what? Speaking of records, I want you to know that Rick Dees has an album out here, and you won't believe some of the things on this album. You should be ashamed of yourself. He has a cut on this album called "Hurt Me, Baby, Make Me Write Bad Checks."
That's right.
Make me write bad checks.
Yes.
And if that isn't bad enough, he has a cut called Jane Fondle. I'll be right back. Hi, Wally George. If you or your company need a professional security service, may I recommend TriStar International Protection Agency. They can provide executive protection, corporate security, and loss prevention. They take care of high-risk security problems, and they use canine services in patrol with bomb and drug detection. All of TriStar personnel have training in civilian or military law enforcement. Call TriStar now, area code 714-635-2015. Thank you very much.
Mary?
Tonight at 9 on TV 56, it's the ever-popular Mary Tyler Moore Show with Mary and her lovable, zany bunch of friends.
Ted, Miss Grant asked me to remind you, it's Richard Milhouse Nixon, not Millhorse.
See the popular, the original, the Emmy Award-winning Mary Tyler Moore Show tonight at 9 on KDOC TV 56.
I think I'm going to be fantastic.
Rock and roll. Fast. Fun. Furious. The pulse. It's everything about life that has anything to do with being young, crazy, loud.
You're KNAC. We rock harder and better.
Weeknights at 12:30 on TV 56, June Kane Miller is warm.
Family. Now.
She's surprising.
See her? Look at that. Now,
This is a disease.
She's serious.
Before we get loaded today, the brain changes go on for months to years, and recovery requires...
support groups, rehabilitation centers.
Right.
Absolutely. That's all got to be part of it.
Ready?
She's embarrassing. She's June Kane Miller. Weeknights at 12:30 on KDOC.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. Okay. Thank you very much. Well, David, so much for Rick the rodent, huh?
Yeah.
Okay.
Rick the Sleaze.
Boy, we got rid of him fast. Okay. Now, another antagonist coming up. But first, I want to remind you all, every Monday night here in Southern California, be sure to join me on the radio. We do the Wally George Great American Radio Show, now our second year on KLAC, that fine country music station. Every Monday night we talk for 3 hours. You can call me on the phone from 7 until 10 p.m. here in Southern California, KLAC 570 on the AM dial. Join me Monday night from 7 to 10 and call me on the telephone. We talk about the issues of the day. Okay, now we are going to play for you a little segment of this dimwit who has been trying to be Wally George II around the country, and he's a dismal failure, isn't he? Yeah! Well, David, you remember we had Downey on about 3 times when he was groveling around from job to job, looking for something to do.
Unfortunately, I do remember it. He wasn't very good here either.
Well, anyway, here is that dimwit idiot. When he was on our show last, a couple of years ago, Morton Moron Downey Jr. Watch. Here we are back. I'm Wally George. And my guest, you know, some people just cannot control themselves when they're wrong. And obviously, I punched the wrong nerve on Mr. Downey, and he couldn't take the truth. So once again, we have a so-called brawl almost on our hands here. Well, I went and talked to Downey, and now I think if he's able to control himself, perhaps, Mr. Downey, we can have a conversation. Do you think you're able to do that?
As long as it's you and I one-on-one, Wally, I'll check my brain and we'll start even.
Oh, right. Let me tell you something. You see, it's people like you, Downey, who are really, you tell me that I am starting things, that I am not right for the conservative cause, and you jump up and want to physically attack me and you can't take the fact that the audience realizes what a stupid jerk you are. I mean, why? I mean, if you're a conservative, if you are a conservative, why don't you act like at least a human being on this program?
I'll act like a human being. I expect to be treated like a human being. Let's discuss the issues.
All right.
And if you have some people in your audience who have enough modicum of intelligence to ask intelligent questions...
Now wait, don't start again with the audience.
Now, I'm asking you if you have an audience that has questions.
Now you're saying to me that I should have treated you with respect on my show. When I came on your radio show...
Don't ever snap out of your seat to come over like you're coming to get me, because I'm used to liberals attacking me that way, not conservatives.
Snap out. I walked over because you were behaving like a maniac. That's what you were doing. Now,
I leave it to the audience to decide for themselves, and I mean the television audience to decide for themselves whether I acted like a maniac or whether George did.
Wally to you.
George.
Hold on.
So you
asked for respect on my show, and wait a minute, and the first thing you did to me when I went on your radio show in Sacramento, California, where my show is seen on Channel 31 and you're on KFBK radio.
The capital of California, Sacramento.
All right, never mind. And KFBK happens to be a good radio station, and why they put you on there is beyond me.
Well, I have the same opinion about your stations that carry you all over the country.
Listen, but what I was trying to say is, the minute I came on your radio show, you didn't treat me with any respect. You hurled personal insults at me. So why the hell should I treat you decently?
Well, you've got a good point there. You've got a good point there. The fact that I acted like an idiot gives you every right to act like one also.
And you have a good point on top of your damn head. That's where you have a good point. Now let's talk. Now I want to see if we can get some kind of sanity out of this interview.
Good, let's go.
Now I happen to have a cold, and you're making it a hell of a lot worse. I got a splitting headache from having to talk to a jerk like you.
Now, you have to have a brain to have a headache, Wally.
Hold. Let him on again. Now listen, I want to ask you a few things, Downey. Tell me, how did you happen to say on your program that I did not know the facts, that I did not have the experience as a conservative talk show host? Let me give you a little bit of my experience, Downey. I have been on radio and television for 30 years talking about conservative politics. I started out talking about patriotism and conservatism when I was 16 years old, when you were probably sitting out behind the barn drinking a six-pack of beer. I have been on the air. I've been on the air continuously for 35 years. I was on the air for 6 years with the former mayor of Los Angeles, Sam Yorty, preaching conservatism and patriotism, and you just crawled out of some saloon that they practically... No, really. He was a saloon singer, and they probably kicked you out of a saloon because you could no longer sing, so you decided all of a sudden, you would become a talk show host. What qualifies you to be a talk show host and to be a conservative?
Let me see if I can give you a couple of... I'm a reborn American, all right? I am a conservative. I am a conservative, and I started off on the wrong side of the tracks. I started off as a liberal. I worked for John Fitzgerald Kennedy. I worked for Bobby Kennedy. And I finally learned my lesson when Jimmy Carter ran for the presidency of the United States and realized that I had made a mistake, yea, these many years.
Wait a minute,
I served
Johnny.
8 years on the Democratic National Committee, so I know how those people work to undermine America,
But
and
wait a
I
minute,
don't
no.
intend to be any part of it anymore.
I think you're wrong, Downey. I think you made your biggest mistake. You do belong with the Democratic Party.
No way. No way. No way. No person who wants freedom in this country, no person who wants the Constitution upheld in this country could ever want to really be a Democrat.
If you, all right, I agree with you on that. If you consider yourself to be a good American, patriotic conservative, how can you on your show, and I've heard you, criticize Ronald Reagan the way you do?
Wally, the only reason I criticize Ronald Reagan is not because of the man, because I think the man has nothing but great instincts. I think he's probably the best man we could have in there as president right now. But I am concerned that the Michael Devers of this world keep the Wally... Wait a second, let me finish, Wally. Just let me explain why. I'm afraid the Michael Devers of this world keep the Wally Georges away from Ronald Reagan. No. Keep the people who could really give Ronald Reagan the input that he needs to be sure that we're not going to have a monetary collapse in this country. I have been predicting for 45 days that Bolivia was going to default on their loans. Everyone laughed at me. Today in the headlines, Bolivia defaulted on $4 billion worth of loans, and it's going to be a domino
effect.
effect.
I have news for you, Morton. For the rest of your career as a broadcaster, everyone's going to laugh at you. Now listen. I will tell you what.
I'm sorry you feel that way, Wally. I feel a modicum of camaraderie for you, and I'm sorry you feel that way because I think the one problem that we have is one conservative trying to split another conservative, and it gives all the liberals out there a chance to laugh like hell at us.
No.
And whether you and I get along on all the issues, there are some issues we agree upon, and we ought to try and stick together once in a while.
All right, now look. I will agree. Hold on. All right. There may be some issues that we do agree on, and I'm sure there are, but I want to tell you this. You cannot help this country or re-elect this president by chastising and hitting over the head the men that he chose personally to be his lieutenants.
He didn't pick them personally. He did not pick them personally. He did not pick George Bush personally. George Bush went ahead and picked Baker personally. Because it was the right thing to do at the time to get himself elected so he could do a great job for America.
Every man who is serving Ronald Reagan in the White House was picked by Ronald Reagan. And if you don't like them,
you're
that's
naive.
tough.
You're
Ronald,
naive,
and
Wally.
you are nuts.
You're naive.
Come on.
Wally, you're naive. Dear God, give this boy a semblance of brains.
Dear God, give this man any kind of a brain. Go ahead.
I just like to say, I'm Sean from Torrance. I just like to say back there, you handled it very well, Wally. He's very proud of you. You're the best.
Thank you very much. Have you a question for this maniac here?
How can you call this man a phony? I mean, you are the phony. It's obvious, and everyone can see. Wally George is the greatest conservative of all. You cannot call him a phony.
Wally George is no doubt a great conservative. Wally George is no doubt a great American. Wally George should learn a little bit more about the issues. That's all I ask.
Oh, come on. I knew the issues before you could spell the word.
What is your doctorate in, Wally?
Listen, buddy, nobody needs...
I'm not your buddy, and never would be.
Thank God, and never would be.
Never would be.
Come on in, go ahead. I knew the issues, Morton Downey, before you could spell the word. Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm Victor from Garden Grove.
Okay.
And when you call this monkeys in a cage, I think you're the only monkey we know. So.
All right, Victor. Good, Victor. You're led the same way Adolf Hitler was able to lead the minions over in Germany. Pardon me?
You believe in the death penalty.
Do I believe in what?
The death penalty.
Yes, I do believe in the death penalty.
How about the draft?
Yes, I believe in the draft.
Okay. That's all I want to
Okay. Come on. Yes.
Go ahead.
I already have been.
All I want to know is why, when the cameras are off, you were flipping us off with some juvenile thing. And I'll tell you what, us people, the good conservatives of America, don't have to change. Democrat.
Wait a minute. I cannot permit it. Downey,
I apologize for that. I apologize for that.
give an obscene gesture.
I apologize for that.
All right.
That wasn't an obscene. That was not an obscene gesture. I was trying to demonstrate to the man that I received his IQ test score back.
Never mind. Go ahead.
Rough crowd tonight. You know, Wally, you got a heavyweight on your show. You ought to learn from him instead of insulting him.
Oh, come on.
Why, thank you. Thank you.
Wait a minute. If this is a heavyweight, then we are in real trouble. Get off my stage. I'll be right back.
We were smokers for 40 years, and with New Choice, why, we quit in 7 days. I used New Choice. It was incredible. It was so fast. It only took 7 days.
And in 7 days, I stopped smoking. I still can't even believe it myself.
The only system approved by the Anti-Smoking Association of America. New Choice will let you stop smoking in as little as 7 days, and it's so easy.
I spent a fortune going to those clinics, and they didn't work. All I did was start eating more, and I felt heavy. I was getting heavier every day.
I was afraid of gaining weight if I stopped smoking. But with New Choice, I quit, and I actually wound up losing 2 pounds.
What did I have to lose? It was guaranteed satisfaction or your money back.
New Choice guarantees 100% satisfaction or your money back, no matter how long you've been smoking. New Choice is the only system that attacks both the physical and psychological addiction. It's that powerful.
New Choice. It was great. I'd recommend it to everybody. I don't know what they put in there, but it's mighty powerful stuff.
Now with New Choice, in 7 days, I've quit smoking. I'm not a smoker anymore.
I can't believe how much money I've spent on cigarettes.
If I had the money I'd wasted on cigarettes, I'd have my house paid for and have enough money for a new car.
But now, thanks to New Choice, I've saved enough money I could take a first-class trip to Hawaii.
The smartest thing that we've ever done was to pick up the telephone and call New Choice.
The smartest thing I ever did was to pick up the phone and order New Choice.
To finally stop smoking once and for all without withdrawals and without gaining weight, have your credit card ready and call toll-free 1-800-553-1002. The complete guaranteed New Choice system is just $29.95. Call 1-800-553-1002 or send check or money order to New Choice, P.O. Box 6340, Scottsdale, Arizona 85261. Include $4 for shipping and handling. Call 1-800-553-1002 now.
And David, it's time for our final guest, and who do we have?
Okay, last tonight we have from Amazing Entertainment of Marina Del Rey, the very famous spaghetti wrestlers.
Spaghetti wrestlers? Where are they? Sit down. Wait, hold. Wait a minute. Hold it. Wait. Why? Hold it. Hold it down. Hold it down, the audience. Hey, what is your name? Treasure. You're from Amazing Entertainment in Marina Del Rey. Why didn't you bother to get dressed to come on the show, huh?
Oh, but I did. I usually don't wear anything.
So this is how you walk around all of that. Now listen. I've heard of all kinds of wrestling, mud wrestling, oil wrestling. Why in the world are you now wrestling in spaghetti, for heaven's sake?
Oh, because it's much more imaginative. You can do so many things with spaghetti. So many places to put it. Haven't you ever seen 9.5 Weeks?
But I mean, come on, how does it feel oozing around in that spaghetti?
Kind of like a meatball. If you
This is really ludicrous, though. I mean, come on. We have spaghetti wrestling. What's next? Wrestling in what?
Teriyaki sauce.
No, maybe mashed potatoes. No. Hey, maybe the next. Hold it. Maybe the next is mashed potatoes and gravy, huh?
That's an idea, huh?
That's an idea, yeah.
How long you girls been doing this spaghetti wrestling?
Starting in probably about 10 minutes now.
Girls? I call it, they're bimbos!
Oh, wait, I'm glad. Yeah, you're right. I'm glad. I am glad to be a bimbo. Do you know what bimbo stands for? You know what bimbo stands for? It stands for beautiful, intelligent, mature, blonde, and outrageous.
Well, I can certainly see why you're famous and what you're famous for.
You know what? I just wanted to say, you know, when I saw you on television, I thought you were a wimp, but when I look at you now, I see you're a manly man.
Thank you. Maybe I'll go over in the pit.
Hey, hold on. I understand that you and your fellow bimbos here are going to give us a demonstration?
Yes, I'd like to give you a demonstration
Hey, do you want to see this or not? This is ludicrous. Come on. This is terrible.
My goodness, what are they doing now?
I don't know if I can...
What do they think of next? I thought it was spaghetti wrestling. Now they're getting it covered with oil.
I don't know if I want to see this.
Nah, we better stop the show.
Oh, come
Stop
on.
the show. Oh, my gosh.
Oh.
What in the world? That's what they do with the spaghetti.
This is awful. Oh, come on. Hey, hold on. Wait. I better... Mike, get in there and get them out of there. Get them out of there. Mike, get in there. Get those girls out of there. Oh, come on. I've had enough of this. This is ridiculous.